Hi, I'm John McAuliffe, Chief Marketing Officer of VFM Leonardo, and welcome to the VTV channel. VTV is a weekly series of interviews with industry experts on the latest topics in travel e-business and online merchandising practices that help hoteliers extract more value out of their online presence. Feel free to email us at vtv@vfmleonardo.com to suggest topics that you would like us to cover in future episodes. Today I'm joined by Glenn Haussman, Hotel Interactive's editor-in-chief and host of a series of on-demand radio shows. Glenn is also a frequent moderator and speaker at leading travel industry events. As an adjunct professor at New York University, Glenn teaches classes in consumer behavior and public relations and advertising. Glenn, thank you for joining us on VTV and welcome.
Hey, thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Our topic today, Glenn, is one that I know hoteliers are often perplexed about and spend a lot of time thinking about, and that is the ever-changing and the ever-changes in the behavior that travel shoppers are having in their shopping process. In fact, I think you wrote an article called "Travel Consumers Are Changing, So Should Your Marketing Strategy."
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, and I'd like to take our time today to delve a little bit deeper into that article and what advice and counsel that you have for hoteliers on the ever-changing needs of travel shoppers. So, why don't we start with, in your opinion, how exactly have online travel shoppers changed in the past year?
Well, the problem that hoteliers are having is that consumers have gotten a lot smarter with the way they shop for online travel. Gone are the days they're travel agents, and they've all moved online. And what's happening is people are going out there, they're checking through all these different sites, and they're becoming smart discount hunters. And it's really changing the whole way that the hotel business operates.
Smart discount hunters. So what exactly are they looking for when they're shopping for travel online then?
They're looking for what they perceive to be a good deal. Now, the problem with that is that hoteliers misunderstand what a good deal is. They see that as offering the lowest price for services. But consumers really see that as getting the best value for the dollar that they're spending. And they're getting really, really good at finding out how to find those terrific deals, those needles in the haystack, so to speak.
Right. So, in your opinion, or what you've seen with hotels online, what types of things can a hotelier do to impress upon someone that they have a good deal without discounting their hotel?
Well, I think it's really all about creating the right value equation for the experience that you're offering. According to a lot of prognosticators in this business, DK Shiflett in particular, they're saying that consumers are actually feeling like they're getting a better value for the hotels that they're purchasing than they ever have before. So what that really means is they feel that they're underpaying for hotel rooms, and hoteliers are being silly and they're not really charging enough for them. They could be, they shouldn't be discounting as much. They should be adding a lot of these value adds to it to really make it something that's going to attract the consumer without really costing the hotelier any money.
So why don't we take a step back here?
Sure.
One of the things that you talked about was that they're hunting, or they're smarter, and they're hunting for discounts. Yeah. How are they using the online space to do that?
Well, they're using the online space to do that because a lot of these travel sites that are out there, not just branded hotel sites and not just online travel agencies, but a whole new group of sites are coming out there that are aiding consumers in finding what the best deal is. There are so-called membership sites, sites like Sneakaway and JetSetter.com, where you actually get to be part of a club, almost like a Costco for travel, and you're really able to start getting deals that are penetrate even deeper than we've ever seen before.
Right.
And the consumers are just flocking to these things. It's absolutely unbelievable how quickly the landscape has changed. Brands are not as important anymore, it seems, and it seems to be more about the price-value equation for a particular experience.
Right. Certainly all travel shoppers are not created equal, but there's a growing population of people that are becoming almost brand agnostic, and as such, are using a lot of other channels to do their treasure hunt, if you will. How exactly? I mean, we've heard about these new types of sites like Sneakaway and JetSetter. Mm-hmm. How are consumers actually using those sites?
Well, it's still relatively new, so it's still getting all sussed out, kind of like, how social media has taken a while for people to figure out. But what consumers are doing is they're getting on these emailing lists, these clubs, so to speak, and they're getting a lot of offers that they could really jump on. For example, some companies are starting to take the group gone kind of a scenario. If a certain amount of people sign up for a deal, then that deal becomes active, and you can go ahead and have that vacation at a much lower cost than you probably would anywhere else.
Right. And again, this is that whole balance between price and value. Yep. But what kind of things, if I were a hotelier, can I do to impress upon the consumer that I have good value without bringing my price down?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the first thing that hoteliers have to do is get a little bit of confidence in there. They've been beaten down so badly over the last few years, they don't even understand that they're undercharging for rooms right now. So that's the baseline that they can do. Just start knocking up the rate $2-3 at a time, and I think that is really the initial step that you have to take. Secondly, after that, you have to really try to market the complete value of the experience that you're giving to the person that's staying in your hotel. It always amazes me that when I go onto a hotel branded website and I say I'm going to stay at XYZ Hotel for an event that I'm attending, the lack of communication the hotel has with me, with really explaining to me the full richness of offerings that they have on their property. So a simple fix by saying, hey, we've got a DVD player in the room, bring your DVDs, is something that could help right away, something real small. And there's a lot of little tricks like that hoteliers can do.
Right. And so if I am a hotelier and I have a lot of these, I fully understand that people are looking for experiences, and I have a lot of these elements in my hotel that can help, make it more of an experiential stay. How do I actually communicate that to people online?
You really should be able to say what all your full breadth of services and offerings are at your hotel. Most hoteliers are so fixated on trying to market a specific room for the best price with shoddy photography or not really an explanation of the amenities and services that their hotel has, that they're not even able to engage the consumer in the proper dialogue and set the expectations at the correct level. So it's really going back to some very simple, basic things that hoteliers have just simply ignored over the last 10 years as consumers have become a lot more sophisticated.
Right, and of course, delivering that type of experience on my own website is a lot easier than propagating it across thousands of other sites, whether those are OTAs in a transactional nature or these new types of websites that you're talking about, like Sneakaway or even the brand site that I may be part of. What kinds of things can I do to help extol that experience through those sites as well?
Well, I think that what you really need to do is you need to start getting into the mindset as an owner of developing overall packages. How the airlines, it's funny, they're breaking apart all of their services. I think the hotels really need to start bundling a lot of their services and fully explaining what that's all about. For example, this is why you're seeing all-inclusive resorts really start to take off and get a lot more popular, because people want to know what they're going to pay for their vacation before they actually leave on vacation. So if you're a hotelier with a full-service hotel, one of the best things to do is start including certain meals in the equation, not just the free breakfast that you've been giving away, but a lunch, a dinner. What about activities that you have on the property? Your health club, for example. A lot of hoteliers are starting to charge extra for that. Forget that. Bundle it in. Start thinking about all of the things that you have on site that's not really going to cost you a lot of money for your guests to utilize, and then start making sure that the guest really understands that those are the things that are there. Now, if you want to create a great experience, you got to start thinking a little bit more non-traditionally. If you're a full-service hotel, why not partner with a local chef, for example, in the neighborhood, and start to create packages where the guests could come in, for example, and go with that chef to go to some farmers markets, pick out ingredients, go back to the hotel with the chef, learn how to cook up those ingredients, and then enjoy a meal with the chef after having shopped and cooked it. Those are the types of things that are going to protect you from playing against rate.
Right. Certainly it would be hard to compare yourself or have a shopper compare you against another hotel if you have a unique package like that.
Right. And that's one of the things with hotels. It's the intangible stuff that people really will respond to. We're so used to, dealing with numbers and how much we're selling this particular room for and how much can we sell our internet for, that you're not really looking at how the hotel is actually experienced by that guest. And that's silly. We got to start thinking like guests and stop thinking like hoteliers.
Right. Does any particular hotel come to mind that's doing a good job, in your opinion, on actually promoting that experience at the shopping stages?
Yeah, I think Morgan's Hotel Group has done a great job, for example, at creating a website that really communicates to the customer what type of experience they're going to have once they arrive at one of their hotels. They add a lot of lifestyle elements to it, so it's not just exactly about the particular product that they're selling, but the psychographic of the person who's going to come to their hotel, and then they try to appeal towards that particular type of personality and try to engage them at a more emotional level on the particular website.
Right, but again, it's easier to do on your own site, much harder to do on all those other sites. So, anyone are they extending that experience beyond to other sites as well?
No, they haven't done a really good job at it at all. I mean, the branded websites, for the most part, all the major brands I'm talking here, not some of the small boutique brands, but the major brands really aren't looking at that as well. We've seen some attempts for them to do that, but they're really not communicating to the potential guest in a way that the guest should be communicated to. And then when you talk about the OTA sites, they're really just about fighting on price and not experience. Mm-hmm. And that's really, I think, the root problem that the hotel industry is having, and one of the major reasons why we've seen such a decrease in profits over the last couple of years.
Right. So really a good opportunity for hotels to be able to extend that experience onto those other sites if they can find it.
John, it's a great opportunity because hardly anybody is doing it. If you're going to take advantage of doing that now, man, you're going to be a step ahead of everybody else because the major brands are simply not doing it.
Glenn, thank you very much for your insights today. We appreciate having you on VTV.
Great. Thanks so much.
To all the viewers out there, be sure to post your comments on this episode of VTV and subscribe to our feed to receive more valuable insights from industry experts. If you'd like to suggest topics that you would like us to cover in future episodes, feel free to email us at vtv@vfmleonardo.com with your suggestions.